so strong enough.
Hey everyone, so tonight I decided that I'm going to attempt, I'm not going to say make, I'm going to attempt to make Wisconsin beer cheese soup. It's one of my favorites. I've never made it though. I've always just had it at the restaurant and it's absolutely phenomenal. So I looked up the recipe and I'm sure it's not going to be like the restaurant that I went to, but you know, it might be close and we'll just see how it turns out. But for your ingredients that you're going to need 3 cups of cheddar cheese, shredded. I didn't have cheddar, I had sharp cheddar, which to me that's just even better. And 2 stalks of celery diced, 2 medium carrots diced, 1/3 cup of flour. It says 1 clove of 1 garlic clove. I'm not exactly sure how much that is, so I guess I have about maybe a teaspoon in there of minced garlic because I didn't have a clove. 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of regular salt, 1 tablespoon of dry mustard. Find your word, Chef. And you're going to need 1 medium onion cut up or chopped up, diced, and 1 red bell pepper, or 1/2 of an orange bell pepper. I just happen to have red, but it's only a half of one. 1/4 cup of butter. Oh, can't remember how much cream. Hold on, let me. Oh, 1 cup of cream, right here. 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. 2.5 cups of chicken stock broth or vegetable broth stock. I have both. I just chose chicken because I can my own. Someday I'm going to be doing a video about that. And 1 12-ounce bottle or can of malted beer. And last but not least, a bay leaf. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start doing this, and we'll see how it turns out because I've never made it before. So it might taste not very good, or it might be like, you know what, hey, I'm going to make this again. I have no idea. But because there's no protein element to it, I'm going to be adding, now I'm not going to put it in the soup, but I'm just going to saute some smoked sausage. I think that'd be really good with it. And then we'll just go ahead and add some croutons on top with some green onion. And apparently this is a must-have too when you're making this recipe, this soup. So I'm gonna read about how, because I'm doing this because I'm new at this. So I'm gonna be using my Dutch oven. And let's see, the first thing that it tells me to do is heat a heavy bottom hot large saucepan over medium heat. Add the butter and let it melt. That's what we're going to do. Cast iron gets hot quickly. So we're just going to put our butter in. And we're going to do what we're told, whether we want to or not. Okay. We're melting. We're starting to melt. I made this butter yesterday with some cream that I had left over, some heavy cream. Really easy to do. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and let that melt here for a minute. Okay, so my butter is melted. Now it says to add our celery, our pepper, our onion, our carrots, and that's it. Then we are gonna, it says to stir them up until they become soft. So that's gonna do. Oh wow, this is really pretty. This is actually really pretty. I'll show it to you. Really pretty. Looks good already. Alright, so I'm just gonna kind of let this sit here for a minute. I'm gonna put the lid on it. Let it steam and get warm. And I'm going to continue reading my recipe. Like I said, I told you that I made that butter yesterday using some heavy whipping cream that I had left over. It doesn't specify in the recipe whether the butter has to be salted or unsalted, but mine's unsalted, so I don't know if that makes a difference. I mean, we're going to be adding salt to it anyway, so I don't know. I guess they kind of just left that up to your discretion of what you like. See, it didn't tell me to add the bay leaf in there, so I gotta add the bay leaf. I'm glad I read that over. The only reason I knew that was because when I read down further it said remove the bay leaf, but it didn't tell me to put it in there either. So it's bad on them, not on me. It just says to stir it up every few minutes until they're tender. We're not soft yet, but we're working on it. We're working on it. You know what I need? I need a spoon rest. That's what I need. I need to find me a really cool cast iron spoon rest. Yes. Yes. Anybody know where I can find one? Open up my beer here. I'm not really a fan of beer. I'm more of a wine drinker, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Oh, it's actually not that bad. Not bad at all. Good thing hubby went down and got 6 of them. I just may indulge myself in this recipe. We'll check it again. Now it's getting really hot. I can tell that it's getting really hot because if I do that, I can feel how hot my handle is and whether or not I need to use a hot pad. Probably not the best way to test things out, but I've been using CI for my entire life, so you just kind of learn things as you go. I think what they're getting at when they want us to cook these or saute these until they're like super tender is because I'm gonna use the emulsifier blender on them, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason why that they want us to do that. They're not quite there yet. So back in the pot we go. Oh, I forgot the garlic. It happens. It's not too late though. But we're not tender yet. We're still working on it. Oh, that is such a beautiful sight in that bowl, or in that pan. Pan, oven, bowl, whatever it is, it's cast iron and it's beautiful. I'm just going to pick on this bay leaf here for a minute. I'm just going to kind of pound on it a little bit, tap on it, so it'll release some of that flavor that it's hiding inside of it. Don't break it though. Don't break it up. Just do it gently if you're going to. So I think we're softened up here, but I'm just gonna poke one of my bigger chunks of carrot to see if it goes in. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, we're softened up. Now what do I gotta do? It says to sprinkle the flour. Sprinkle the flour and mix well. Cook for about a minute, stirring frequently. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to sprinkle some of that in there. And then we'll put the rest in. Right. Trying to show you, not hide it with my hand or my pot holder. Okay. Just gonna turn this down a little bit more. All right, what's next? Okay, while stirring, add the chicken broth and cream and beer. Okay, and it's telling me to remove the bay leaf. All right, bay leaf gone. All right, now here we go. This is the chicken broth. Okay. That in there. Next, I'm going to add my cream. Okay. And then it says while stirring, add all of your spices. So that would be pepper, your salt, your dried mustard, and your Worcestershire sauce. Let it simmer for about 5 minutes. And then we're going to take that emulsion blender to it. So we'll turn this back up to get it up to a simmer. And then we'll let it simmer for about 5 minutes. And then take our blender to it. Because there's cream in there, though I don't want it to get too hot. I just want to get it bubbling, and then I'll turn it down pretty low. Because as always, cast iron cooks hotter and faster. But the food that comes out of it is so much better. Alright. Let that guy sit there until I see a bubble, and then I'm going to turn it down. But I think in the meantime, I'm going to just get my smoked sausage in my pan. This is a number 7 Wagner. And contrary to belief, you do not need a ton of oil to cook in them. That's about it right there. Half a teaspoon, maybe even a half. I mean, it's not very much at all. But I'm just going to set that there so that it can be ready to go. In fact, I could probably start that on a low heat. It doesn't say that you have to cover it for it to simmer. They just said simmer. Alright, my sausage is starting to make a little noise over here. Aha, here we go. There's some bubbles coming right there. That's what I'm looking for. Now I'm just going to turn this down to maybe a medium heat. And I'm just going to let that simmer there for a little while. Alright, we've been simmering now for about 5 minutes. It looks pretty good. Looks like it should. At least I think it does. I'm just going to move it off the heat. Turn that off for a little bit. And then, now it's this emulsifier's turn. Alright. Now they're telling me to do this, and they're instructing me to be very, very careful because it's very, very hot. So here we go. Okay, so I think that's what we're looking for here. That's the consistency. slowly because everything is emulsified. Just gonna set that over here. No, it tells me to put it back on the heat. There we go. This is what it looks like now. It's nice, it's creamy, it's smooth. And now I gotta read, see what I'm supposed to do next. Okay, it says add the cheese to the pureed soup, working in batches and stirring the pot. Yeah, okay. So you're gonna add your cheese and you're gonna add your beer also. And you're just gonna stir that in, but you're gonna add it slowly, and they want you to cook that on a low heat because cheese and cream, like milk or anything, if you cook it too hot, it will curdle and it will separate. And then your soup is just gross. And it's not something that you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna slowly add my cheese in and stir it in. I don't want big clumps of it because I want it to melt evenly. Oh wow, that looks really good. Add some more. Right, good enough. I put about half of it in the first time and then half the second time. I'm just going to let that melt for just a second before I go and put the beer in it. And it's on a very low heat. And then, I believe it said after I put the beer in that I need to emulsify it again. Just to make sure that everything is completely blended together. So in goes our beer. Ooh, foamy. Alright, just gonna give that a little stir. Need to knock down some of that foam out of there. I'm gonna give this a minute to maybe settle down for a little bit. Let some of those bubbles pop so it's not so close to the edge. Alright, that looks like it's settled down. Now I'm going to move it back over here. And I'm just going to emulsify this together. They're saying to do that to make sure that all the flavors get blended evenly. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll put it back onto the heat. But in the meantime, we got those cooking. Good stuff. I like that little bit of burn down there. That's just, the flavor is really good when you let them get a little bit charred like that. Alright, so we're going to move him back over to here. Turn that back on. Maybe a medium to a low. And this is definitely going on a low. Because I'm going to move my soup back over here. And I'm just going to give it a little more emulsification. Not sure if that's a word, but I'm saying it. It looks very good. It smells very good. Whether or not it's just like the restaurant that I go to have it, not exactly, but I didn't think it was going to be because everybody's got their own style of doing stuff. But that doesn't mean I can't tweak it here and there and maybe add a little bit of this and a little bit of that. My own stuff. I do that quite a bit. My sausages are almost done. I'm going to keep this on a low heat. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the lid back on it. And then we're just going to wait for our sausages to get done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to serve this soup with a side of a few pieces of sausage because, like I said, there isn't a protein other than the cheese and the cream. There isn't a protein element to it. And then I'm just going to serve it with some croutons and a side salad. And I think that'll be a nice dinner for a cold winter night because it's about 25 outside, which, I mean, for up in the UP, it's not that bad, but still, it's cold. Alrighty, I'm just gonna let these cook up and get charred, and we're gonna call that good. So everything is done. Soup looks great. It doesn't taste exactly like the restaurant that I went to, but I'll just tweak it and add and do whatever I need to do to make it taste that way. Eventually, I'll figure it out, and then I will have that restaurant soup in my home. Sausage is done. That looks great too. Nice and charred. And I'm going to call this dinner done. Have a good night all, and go play with your food.
It's so strong.